Hi everyone. I'm actually back home. So after work, and I'm really pretty tired. So I'm gonna turn in later once I recorded these videos. And actually I have a few video ideas, but one of them in particular was something that struck my mind today because I actually remembered that I was actually talking with a friend, not just a friend, but a number of friends, telling them about what happened in the news. For those who have actually been following my YouTube channel, you might be aware that I have been talking at some length about the phenomenon of OnlyFans, and how it was. I won't say that actually it's being prosecuted, but it's not actually legal to have OnlyFans here in Singapore, and the anyone who has actually been active on OnlyFans using it to actually make money will be prosecuted actually to for the circulation of obscene content. That's the thing. So it's not actually illegal to access OnlyFans here, but actually but it's actually illegal to circulate it. And we were talking, at length about the idea, that I mean, from my personal point of view, I do not understand the nature of OnlyFans, and I think that much like all those pay-per-view kind of social media, it's pretty egregious, yeah, as in pretty bad, and it's a reflection of the corruption, morally and also spiritually in our society, where people turn to the fantasies of online social media instead of finding fulfillment in real relationships. Yeah, yeah. But that aside, because this is actually another subsequent topic about OnlyFans, social media, and the virulent culture of narcissism that is in our societies. I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about something else, because one of my friends actually who actually assesses OnlyFans, who admitted that he does occasionally pay for it. Okay, I don't want to end up judging him, but although I don't agree, it's just ridiculous. But when you come to think about it, what he said was, he said, "Oh, is all this? Is your opposition linked to your former Christian faith?" I said, "No, I am still a Christian." But that aside, the problem was that he had that assumption that being pagan means that you are so free to do what you want, that you can just dance around naked under the trees and under the moonlight, and it's like everything is kumbaya, and yeah, it's like a airy fairy idea of what the pagan or heathen religion is. I just told him that, no, do you know that there are mean pagans too? I've actually encountered them. So I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about the extensively about the idea of spiritual and psychic predators, because I believe that the idea of spiritual psychic predators are actually in our midst. They cut across the board of all religions and all spiritual traditions, regardless of whether you're Christian, Muslim, Taoist, Buddhist, or even just New Age religion, whatever other religion, like whether you can claim to be a follower of Asa Trua, yeah, and whatever, um, the the idea that the Christian religion is full of a lot of predators who actually prey on the innocence of others to get money and narcissistic supply, while it is actually valid to a certain extent, um, I think that the truth is really quite far from this, because when we talk about spiritual predators or psychic predators, they are in our midst. And I think that personally, I've actually encountered quite a number of these psychic spiritual predators in the New Age movement, who claim to be able to read your energy and your aura, when in fact they were actually just performing a bunch of what we call mentalist tricks. When I say mentalist, I'm referring to this bunch of people who make it their profession to to manipulate your mind, and they read you for certain cues and certain signs and signals. There was a drama series the mentalist that was being played on or released on TV quite a number of years ago, and yeah, starring this Australian actor. I'm not sure about his name anymore, but I mean it's been quite a while. But okay, when I talk about this, I mean most people wouldn't believe it because like in here in Singapore, it's really sensitive to talk about religion and spirituality. But I'm not targeting any religion per se, but I think that there's always the possibility that there will be one group of people who use religion or spirituality as their front to manipulate people, and oftentimes they use it to actually get money. Okay, the one thing, especially in the New Age movement, that I witnessed here, not just here but elsewhere as well, although I think that it's probably more egregious here because there aren't any laws regulating it, is that this people in the New Age movement tend to actually perform a series of co-reading. Yeah, co-reading meaning that they throw an overwhelmingly vast number of questions at you, in the hopes that you actually either answer some of them or that you answer some of them correctly, that they will get what they want out of you. There's also a hot reading method that they use. The hot reading method is very different from the cold reading because they might have had some ideas or some things that they know about you based on research or prior knowledge of you, maybe because you're famous or because you have a profile online or something like that. And based on that hot reading, they do auto suggestion to you about who you are and what you ought to do. So so if you were to just like base it on the way they're doing it, all this mental manipulation, um, the idea of a nice pagan or a heathen, I think it's a myth as much as the idea of a puritanical Christian, because or even a puritanical monotheist, because you think about it, it's not about permissiveness in life, but it's actually about what you do to other people. And a lot of this, people, this so-called spiritual or psychics people, they are effectively manipulating you to get money out of you. They'll just do all these things, and then after that they claim that they can read you. They'll steer you in a different direction, and actually a lot of them don't really even know what's going on. And yeah, and the thing is, these methods of cold reading or hot reading, which are mentalist techniques, are almost no different from the love bombing and grooming techniques used by narcissists and psychopaths. So I think that the irony is that in a lot of cases when when that particular psychic or spiritualist is faced with a particular emergency, a crisis, such as an accident or a sudden onset of illness that could be really serious. Uh, that this so-called psychics or spiritualists are totally unable to save themselves. They can't even forestall it. I mean, if they really knew about it, why would it have happened to them? And then they'll just after it happens, they'll just tell you things like, oh, that the universe or God has actually or the gods or whoever has saved me from this. No, you can barely even stop it from happening, and you're just allowing it to happen. And if you're so clairvoyant and so all clear seeing or all seeing, why is it happening to you? Yeah. So I think it's just that all these people are just fake. The majority of them are really fake, and or maybe all, I don't know. I think the majority. And there are a few questions to ask. Like, I mean, if they're so clairvoyant, why are they asking you so many questions? They don't even need to go and ask you questions. And then on top of that, uh, beyond the inability to forestall the illness, if they're doing everything for the so-called greater good, for whatever they call, like capital S spirit, um, why are they even charging you a premium? The premium is like over $150 or $120. For some of them, they claim that they can actually remove a curse from you or negative energy just because yeah, just because they are psychic or gifted. like don't be deceived, yeah. And you know that these people, I mean, there's always a saying. I always told friends about it. I mean, even non-Christian friends, like one atheist, will probably agree that a lot of these people are pretending, because you know that a tree, we will always know a tree by its fruits. And a bad tree cannot produce good fruits. If they are actually using your money for themselves, I mean, getting your money for themselves, they are not really serving the public good. And so I think that a lot of these so-called psychics and spiritualists are possibly predators and narcissists themselves. uh, they just don't want to admit it because it's a facade to actually control you. So yeah, I mean, I've experienced that myself, but I mean, thankfully I never like, really given them money in like hundreds or whatever. And I mean, if it's just for fun, give them $10 to $30, I mean, it's fine, just out of curiosity. But paying them 100 something, and or even like to get them to touch you, and read your energy and feel your energy. No way, man. uh yeah, I go to the Institute of Mental Health or some disease control center or whatever, and get a psychiatric evaluation, miss or mister or madam. I think you're crazy. Okay. So that's it anyway. So I'll actually continue making another video about OnlyFans and the virulent culture of Macmillan narcissism later on. Okay, so I hope everyone has a good night. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.